I want to start this video off by saying this is for people who are obsessed with the meta and play by that rather than just getting characters you love. This is for people who play the gacha solely to get cards to fill their team slots and don't care about characters as long as they have the strongest team. I think any card can work for your team if you put in the work, and this is to help you better understand the card and put it in the right team for both you and that card. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you're already well versed in meta and gameplay, so I'm not going to explain basic gameplay stuff. If you're new and don't know mechanics yet, I have videos on that to fill in some gaps.
Lilia is a defense SSR. His max HP is 13,641 and his max attack is 5,296. Lilia's strength is his HP, which is above average for all cards and just SSRs. His attack, on the other hand, suffers because of his high HP. It's far below average for SSRs, but it's not much higher than the all cards average. It's about 175-ish points above, rounding because I frankly do not want to deal with decimals today. His spell 1 is Forest Strike. His spell 2 is Void Shot 2 and then goes on to become Zero Ray 2. His spell 3 is Leaf Shot 2. This Lilia has Power Drain, Nullify Blind, and Curse. In spell 1, he starts off with a minor Power Drain to foe for 1 turn. At level 5 it's Modest, and at level 10 it's Major. On spell 3, he starts off with Nullifying Blind to caster for 1 turn. It doesn't upgrade from here, this is what you get with Nullify Blind. At level 5, he gains a Modest Curse on foe for 2 turns. At level 10, the curse goes from Modest to Major. His duo magic partner is Malleus, who gives him a modest HP boost. His other buddies are Jade with a minor HP boost and Idio with a minor power boost. So, new segment for card analyses videos? Let's talk about building Lilia. I don't think it's super necessary to fully build Lilia. Frankly, I don't think it's necessary for any unit. So don't feel pressure to max him out. I just want to get that info out there on what you'll need for whatever aspect of him you want to build. Because of lessons and special event periods, I can't really say how many items you'll need to raise card and vignette levels or how many lessons it'll take, but everything else has exact numbers, so that's what we'll be focusing on. Let's start with spells. As a Flora Void Flora unit, he's going to need 2 types of books. I can't say if this is better than a unit that has 3 different elements, since this means you have to have a load of Flora stuff lying around. To fully max out all 3 of Lilia's spells, you will need 702 green notepads, 506 green textbooks, 202 green grimoires, 350 gray void, I don't remember what they call it. Anyway, 351 of the void notepads, 253 void textbooks, 111 void grimoires, and 954,000 Thalmarks. Yeah, it's not cheap. Luckily, you don't have to do this all at once. You can spread it out. Individually, Spell 1 and Spell 3 will need 351 green notepads, 253 green textbooks, 111 green grimoires, and 318 Thalmarks. Since there's no double void going on, the amount of cosmic stuff you need is just how many I said it was in the item totals. Let's move on to uncapping. Each level uncap will cost 3 SSR Awakening Perfumes. If you only pull 1 copy of Lilia, you will need 12 of these perfumes to fully uncap him. I don't think it costs any Thalmarks. With every copy of Lilia you get, it means you use less Awakening Perfumes. Moving on to Groovying, Lilia will need 5 Bat Candy. Luckily, it costs the Thalmarks, but you do need to get him to level 40 and clear his whole vignette before you can groovy him. Like all 3 parts, you need to clear all of those. At the moment, I can't speak on friendship levels because I'm still going through and researching that with my own cards. So far, all I got is that without any gifts, it will take Lilia 4 visits to reach friendship level 3, and that's 3 out of 20, so yeah, it will take quite a few visits to get him to match friendship levels. So Lilia is a strange unit because, while Power Drain is certainly easy to find alternatives for, Curse and Nullify Blind, not so much, especially those 2 being together. If you want SRs with Curse, the only 2 options are literally Void Fire units, so yeah, the closest you're gonna get is SSRs. Unless you only care about Curse, then Halloween Leona and Masquerade Sebi are fine. And then the only ARG card with Curse is Soomstead Sebek, but he's Fire Flora, so oof. Nullify Blind is an SSR exclusive skill as of now, so I can't give any budget recommendations with that skill because it straight up doesn't exist. So anyways, my suggestions for alternatives are Dorm Vil, Clubwear Kaleem, Halloween Azul, and Beans Camo Jamil. Vil is our spell match option since he has the same spells as Lilia, but he's also got Curse, Power Drain, and he's Defense. His buddies are different, which, yeah, boo. But unlike Lilia, he actually starts off with Curse, which is extremely nice. Vil would be a good option for you if you just want Lilia's spells along with Curse. Kaleem is Defense, he has Forest Strike, he has Idia as a buddy, and he has both Power Drain and Nullify Blind. They don't match up though, they're attached to different spells, which while yeah, it sucks it doesn't match Lilia perfectly, like Vil, Kaleem has it right off the bat, which is very nice. He doesn't have Curse though, and instead has Damage Cut. His duo magic partner and other buddies are different from Lilia's, as are his spells 2 and 3. Kaleem would be your option for a replacement if you need someone with Idia as a buddy, as well as Nullify Blind. Azul is Defense, he has the same spells 1 and 2 as Lilia, although his Void Shot 2 doesn't change at all. He has Jade as a buddy, and honestly, That's kind of it. He has no skills in common and his other buddy is different. Yeah, I focus more on spells and everything since there's no SSRs with the Nullify Blind, and the only ones with Curse were too different for me to really focus on. But again, I already covered that, so yeah. And finally, we have Jamil. He's Defense, he has Flora Spell 1, Void Shot 2, and Power Drain. His buddy isn't shared with Lilia and his other skill isn't shared. Jamil is really if, you need a budget option with those element spells. And Power Drain too, I guess, although that's not exactly a rare skill, and in my opinion, not a huge thing to be worried about. My final thoughts on Lilia. I honestly don't really know where to begin. It's not that he's awful or anything, because he's not. It's just I think how you're going to play is going to really influence how you build this Lilia, because in terms of building, there's a flexibility to him that's great, but it also renders other points a bit moot. So, normally I would say you really need to work on Spell 2 because it's void and it's outside the advantage-disadvantage triangle. And that still holds true, but the fact that Lilia has very good skills on Spell 3 makes me want to say you should just focus on getting that unlocked. But if you have that unlocked, he can be Mono Flora, and then you don't necessarily need that Spell 2 built unless you're putting him in a team with Malleus and need Duo Magic. So it's kind of I don't know. This Lilia is good, but he's going to need a bit more thought when it comes to building compared to other units just because he's got that whole thing going on. I say ask yourself if you're more interested in that Duo Magic or exams, and let that be the basis for your decision. This Lilia is very good for exams, but if you don't focus on exams and don't care about them, I think it would be dumb to tell you to go and build Spell 3. It's still good to have, but it's not necessarily something to stress about if you don't do exams, you know? If you go for Lilia, good luck. And if you don't get him now, he's going to be in the standard pool, so he'll be available permanently. You can get him in the future.
Thank you everyone for watching, and a very special thank you to my channel members and Twitch subs. Your support helps me to continue to make these videos. If you'd like early access to my videos, consider becoming a channel member. Patrons and Ko-fi members can get my scripts early before I record them. I livestream over on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see y'all later.